Hello, Bilal.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for your invitation here. Your
Uh,
talk.
Thank you for accepting my invitation, and thank you for being here. Is your connection all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Bilal, let me tell in the first video that I'm talking in Persian and I'm saying that you are why we are talking English. سلام دوستان، بلال از دوستان منه و چون ایشون عرب هستن ما به انگلیسی این ویدیو رو صحبت میکنیم، ولی خب بعد اینکه ویدیو اگه حاضر شد ما اینو به زیرنویس فارسی میذاریم. All right, Bilal. What's up, babe? What's up, buddy?
Well, it's going fine. Like I know a few words in Persian. Like then I would like to tell your followers.
Yeah.
خوش آمدید, everybody.
Yeah, you are great. How many languages do you know? You know lots of them.
Well, since I've been to so many countries, then I learned the languages, the countries I've been to. Korean was one of them.
Yeah. Okay, Bilal, before we start, I would like to read your resume to our friend to know you better.
Sure.
And okay, Bilal has studied chemistry in Lebanese university. Then he has studied molecular inorganic chemistry. Then he has gone to the University of Chungbuk, if I'm telling that correctly, as a PhD candidate for chemical engineering. Now, and also he is in Sabancı University as a PhD candidate for material science and nanoengineering. He has lots of papers and also ongoing papers. He has lots of experiences in the research area of batteries and electrochemistry and also synthesis and degradation. He is a very versatile researcher, and he knows lots of characterization and setup instrument skills, and he has been teaching assistant for many courses and trainers. He has scholarships in the Turkey, and he had also in the Korea, and he has certification for energy storage international summer schools and a lot of more. So we don't want to talk, and now I think you have some clue about our friend. Okay, Bilal, we normally start from the country. Okay, tell us about the Korea. How is it, and how was there about their people, and are they accepting foreigners just like other countries or not?
Well, the distinction between Korea and most of the countries nowadays is that their people, although they are in that form, but they are somehow accepting foreigners. Like one need to know that the foreigner idea to Koreans is quite new. Korea isn't an old destination for immigrants or for foreign students. Therefore, like the locals there, they vision the foreign students or the foreign people who are in Korea as foreign. However, they don't tend to bother them. For instance, I was practicing all the things that are related to my culture without being bothered. And on the contrary, I was being sometimes encouraged. Like sometimes they encourage, they approach me, they ask me, what am I doing? What are you? Where are you from? Are all people in your country have beards? Like some of them even approach me to take a picture because I have a beard.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So the foreigners won't have a problem in South Korea, you mean? If I understood well.
Yeah, like Koreans, they're like they are very nice when you if you want something. For instance, you are lost in the city and you would like somebody to tell you where is that, where is how can you go to your destination? So Koreans, they make some effort. First of all, they make some effort to understand what you want to say, because as a foreigner, there you are not expected to learn a lot of Korean. Korean is we will get maybe to the language part. They make some effort so that they can help you to reach your destination, for instance. However, like from my experience, I saw that the Korean society there is quite a closed society. As I said before, that us as foreigners are some sort of new entities to the Korean society. So they tend to be somehow protective, or like they take defense lines before interacting on a deep level with us.
And how do they know English? I mean, how many percent of them? For example, we were talking with Hamid, and he said in Germany, most of the young generation, they know English. And how is it in Korea?
Yes, in Korea, like it's not as it is in Germany. Koreans aren't exposed that much into the English language. They mostly speak Korean. However, as it is like the case in Germany and most of the countries nowadays, the youngsters are tending to learn more English. Like those who are, let's say, teenagers or a little bit older over there, they are learning English. They can somehow communicate in English. However, when I first went to Korea, although I can't speak English fluently, but I was using more like sign language to like, how can I go here? How can I do that?
Yeah, you were pointing out.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you remember, we once talked about the living cost in Korea and the also students' income there. And would you like to talk about it to our friends too? That how is it living cost and students' income? Is it enough or not?
So let's start with the students' income first, then we can go to the cost.
Okay, as you wish.
Regarding a student income, there it depends on the source of a scholarship. First of all, I barely haven't met a single student. Like when I'm talking about students here, I'm talking about graduate students. Since the majority of the people I've met there were graduate students. So all of those were having scholarship. I haven't met a single person there who didn't have a scholarship that covers his expenses there in Korea. But the scholarship, the amount of the scholarship depends on the source of the scholarship and on the program itself. For instance, if we start from the source of the scholarship, there are two major sources of scholarships. The first one is the governmental scholarship. It is more widely known as the KGSP, the Korean Government Scholarship Program. But there are certain conditions and terms for one to be eligible for such kind of scholarship. Among them is the GPA. He needs to have a cumulative GPA of 80%. He needs to give some sort of English language proofs, proficiency proofs, and he needs to accept that in the first year of his program he will be only learning Korean. So that's that's a double-tipped sword. Like on one side you will have the opportunity to learn Korean. And believe me, when you learn Korean in Korea, your life becomes much easier than
for sure
knowing any Korean.
That's true.
On the other side, the other like tip of it, you will lose 1 year. I won't call it 1 year, but you will spend 1 year on learning Korean without going into the real deal, like going into your program, the master or the PhD program. And for that, like they don't send you directly into your university. Let's say, for instance, you got accepted based on that scholarship in a university in the southern part of the country, and by this I don't mean North or South Korea. within
the country, the South Korea.
Yeah. If you get accepted in a university in the southern part of the country, you learn Korean, or you are registered in a Korean school in the northern part of the country, so that they can show you the entirety of the country. Like, let's say you will see the southern part in your coming years, you can see the northern part in your preparatory year. That's something really nice. And during that year, although students tend to only learn Korean, but they try to expose them as much as they can to the Korean culture. They take them for trips. They take them for, like they try as much as they can to include them into the society.
Do they also get scholarships during the learning Korean?
Yes. During the entire program, let's say he's applying for a master's, so there would be 2 years plus the language year would be in total 3 years. During the entire 3 years, they will support him with a monthly salary that ranges between, like, let's say $800 and maybe $1,000 nowadays. Plus, they will give him a place to live. They will cover his tuitions, and yeah, that's it. And
and just if you want, would you please compare it with living costs there?
Yes, it is somehow reasonable when you compare it with living costs over there. But like, it's pretty hard maybe to compare it, like to generalize in this matter, because like from city to city it differs a lot. Like, for instance, somebody is living in Seoul, in the capital, it's different from somebody who is living in a countryside city. Me myself, I was living in a countryside city called Cheongju. Cheongju was around 100 kilometers from Seoul, but the prices differ a lot from Seoul. Like, for instance,
of course,
me as a PhD student, I was receiving around like 1,100,000 won, which is equivalent to around $1,000 something, $1,100 or something. And I was paying only $80 for rent.
$80?
Yeah. So this is
just $80 for rent. And how much was the what size of the house?
It was like around, like, it was a studio room, single room studio room.
Yeah.
Was the size, let's say, like I don't know, but like I cannot give you the centimeter.
Yeah, around 40 or 50, right?
What is it?
Around 30 meters or something, huh?
I think a little bit larger. It was a large room.
Yeah, 40 meters, let's say. So you paid $80 for the rent, and how about the electrical or other things, in energy consumption? Totally.
As you know, for that, it really differs upon your consumption. Like,
of course, just normally, just.
Yeah, I arrived there like during winter, and I wasn't using electricity that much, so the bill was only $1 at the end of the year.
$1?
Yeah.
Wow. And you were paid $1,000, and you are paying this $1 for electricity. Are you sure?
However, let's say during summer when I was using conditioner, like the bill jumped up till, like, I think $30.
Okay, it's reasonable in comparison to your salary.
Yeah, but there is another bill that one needs to take into consideration there, which is the gas bill. I think it's the same here in Turkey. Like the heating system, which he mainly uses during winter, the stove gas and the heating water all operates on gas. So I was paying around like between not more than $20 for that.
Okay, so if I want to sum up, you are paid a lot, about $1,100, and you are paying just $80 for your rent, and maybe around 20 or 30 for just your house bill, right?
Yeah.
And how about the about the food stuff? How much
Before
food?
going to the food,
Okay.
going to the food part, as I said, these especially the rent differs from one city to another.
Yeah, for sure. Just you are saying your own experience.
Yeah, it's almost. Yani you cannot find such a rent in Seoul, for instance. The rent
Yeah,
there
for sure.
varies
In
between
Chumbuk.
$200 and $400. Yeah. As for the food, it also differs whether you are whether you are cooking yourself or whether you are eating in restaurants. However, like I wish I can show you like how was the table when I was in a restaurant there. I think I have shown before, Kamal.
Yeah, once I remember.
Like you pay, it's not a very expensive country when it comes to food. Like most people there, they tend to eat outside because
they like to dine
more
out.
more time efficient, and it's cheaper than going to their homes and cooking and eating there. So, for instance, I once went to a sushi buffet, let's say, like let's take the upper limit of it, a sushi buffet. And when I say buffet, it means that like it has sushi, it has a huge variety of food, not only sushi, like ice cream, drinks, whatever you want, fries, pizzas, whatever you want. So I remember that I was paying upon entry like around $15.
15.
Yeah, and that's of course, yani, it's some sort of a like. No, I don't eat sushi every day, but in total, when I was cooking at home, I was like spending around, since I'm living alone as well, I was spending around like at most like $150 to $200.
Yeah. All right then. So living costs are really reasonable in there. And how about your insurance? Did you have any medical insurance or I don't know lifetime insurance, such a things? And how if you had such a thing, and did you pay it or university prepared that for you?
Usually when somebody like starts with a professor there as a graduate student, usually the professor will give him like some sort of a package. And this is the second type of scholarship. It is the scholarship which is given by the professor himself. It's some sort of a package. Like you agree with the professor. He will tell you, okay, you will come and you will work for this and that. And on my behalf, I will pay your tuition. I will give you a monthly salary. I will pay for your insurance and everything. And he might tell you, no, I will pay your tuition. I will give you a monthly salary, or I will, but I will not pay for your insurance. Or he might pay for your insurance and not pay for your tuition. So it differs from one to another. That's some sort of flexible, and it is somehow negotiable